A very warm welcome here at 5 Things I Learned from Commodity Trading about the flow of energy and change. My name is Hannelie Venucia and I'm from the Possibility Gap and the Joy Generation. Thank you for joining us here in this way. And today the invitation is to sit back and relax and to imagine you are watching a movie with me together. So get comfortable and then imagine the big screen in front of you. And there is this image of a river and two creatures having a deep discussion on the banks of the river. A scorpion and a river turtle. And the scorpion is trying to convince the turtle to take him on his back across the river. Yet turtle is well aware that this is very dangerous. It cannot trust scorpion. It will sting him and then they will both die. So it declines. It refuses. Yet scorpion is persistent, seductive, and very convincing. And he says, that makes no sense. There's no logic in that. Why would I want to do that? Because then we will both die. And that logic Turtle couldn't deny. So he says yes. And there they go. And needless to say, halfway across the river, Scorpion stings Turtle. And before they both drown and go down, Turtle shouts out, "How could you do this to me? I knew it. I knew I couldn't trust you." And Scorpion very sadly says, "I'm so sorry. It's just my true nature." Now this is a story of risk-taking, of only using logic and not having good judgment or ignoring our good judgment. And in the world of commodity trading, which I'm speaking about as in my late 20s, which was way before the internet and email and this incredible dashboards that we have these days, we worked with faxes. And that's how we received intelligence. That was our way of communication and phone calls. So our world's very different today. Yet at that time, and even today still, to operate in this world of commodity trading, we need to have incredibly good judgment. And for that, we really need to engage all our intelligences, not only intellect like Turtle did, using logic. So it's more about our gut feeling, heightened intuition most of the time, trusting our instincts, having a whole body experience of our whole body awareness that we engage, body, mind, heart, soul, aligned and congruent. And we don't have to think about it because it all plays out as one. And why is that so needed in the understanding the world of the flow of energy and change? Because we never really looked at any scenario or any situation in a reductionist way. We were seeing the whole landscape and we engaged our holographic thinking and our holographic awareness so that we could perceive different scenarios all at the same time. So that we knew when to act and not to act, but to follow the flow of the energy. So it was not basing our decisions on a specific result or outcome and getting attached to that because then we would get disappointed if that didn't work out, but following the outflows, the flow of energy, that which was strong, that made us feel alive. Then we knew we were on the right track. We were resonating with a specific decision. And when we received information and intelligence, we could tap into that with all these aspects of ourselves, all working together as one. So resonance was key. But for resonance to happen, we needed to be deeply connected to everything. So we had this whole system picture in front of us all the time. And our electric circuits in our brains were working like that of a soccer player. Now this, now then that, then this, then that. And multitasking so that we could perceive what else was happening in the background and sense into the undercurrents, those subtle energies that were not visible on the surface, so that you don't make surface decisions, which are mostly based out of fear and lack and panic. And that you were trusting your decisions, so there was this uncommon trust. So whatever emerged, we were quite aware that life is about flux and flow all the time. Things change rapidly, it moves all the time. You didn't get stuck on something because that's when we struggle to respond to change. But this ability to read patterns, to read the energy, is really valuable in our world today still, even with all this incredible technology that allows us with these fancy dashboards and the way we receive intelligence. But relationships was key to what we were doing. It was not about just selling and buying products and commodities. It was about cultivating deep, trusting relationships with everybody involved on both sides, and to choose our allies and who we aligned with and who we collaborated with very carefully, choosing our good judgments, not like turtle. So it's even relevant in all other aspects of life today. We call that insight trading, not insider trading, insight trading, because we engage all these aspects of ourselves, even when we choose who to collaborate with and co-create with and work together with, so that we can use our full body awareness, whether there's resonance, and also then to see if there's alignment, because there might be resonance, but there might not be alignment. And then we will get stung as well in some other way. And that created then a landscape of trust and confidence. So it was not about terms and conditions, T's and C's, but trust and confidence. And we were able to also perceive and to follow the resonance alignment patterns emerging, not only from a commodity point of view, but from all involved, all stakeholders. Useful in our world today too. And you don't have to be a commodity trader to experience what I'm sharing about. It reminds me of the two other turtles. The river turtle and the sea turtle communicates telepathically. And the river turtle is really curious. And yes, we need to stay constantly curious in that world of commodity trading too, right? What is coming alive right now for me? What does this feel like? What's happening here? Where is that leading to? But this river turtle was curious about understanding the world of the sea turtle. But sea turtle was very wise, because river turtle wanted him to tell him about his world. And sea turtle responded, "My dearest, for you to understand my world, you have to come and visit," because he knew that river turtle would not be able to perceive it. So to really sense into this world that I'm speaking about, where we don't act from our primitive and limbic brains, where we respond to fear and doubt, which is related to security and safety, where we have access to both our left and right brain hemisphere and the prefrontal lobe of our brain, so that we could spot opportunity and react and know when to make conscious decisions, thus to know when to act and not to act, when to stand back, take a pause, but also how to self-regulate ourselves. Because we were always on top of our game, because we were able to perceive it all and to visualize these different instances. And it made us feel come alive, so we could easily go on for days on adrenaline, but that was not healthy, right? So this ability to self-regulate. And we had so much fun, and we took so much pauses. It was not a scheduled, structured a way of living or even working together. But when we were on top of our game, we were in that flow. And then we could change direction very easily without being disappointed. Now, resonance was key to this all, and relationships, sculpting those relationships that created this uncommon level of trust, and to be confident in your decisions and to trust them and not to give up on them, because then we will block the flow of the energy. And as we know that life's in constant flow and flux, we were mostly initiating the flow, initiating the change of direction, because then we were in charge. Then we could be on top of our game. It's really a very interesting world, but we can, all these abilities that I'm speaking about now, to have how to sense where there's alignment, whether there's resonance when we collaborate and co-create with others, is available to us here right now too. And if you're curious about that, in our upcoming Leadership Intelligence retreat that's online, that starts the 30th of July, we're also tapping into this ability to perceive and to track the flow of energy, on how we can respond to change very differently, but more importantly, of being able to plot down our resonance alignment patterns during our decision-making processes of who we align ourselves with, who are our allies. Most important in our world today, that we can make this whole body awareness decisions relating to that, based on resonance and alignment, that leads to trust and confidence on a level that maybe uncommon in our world right now, which we most definitely need. And we can even apply this on a personal level. When you change careers, when you go and work for somebody else or work with somebody else, to be able to sense into these resonance alignment patterns to see if that's the right decision to make. And more importantly, how we respond to change. Simply whether we resonate with where things are going and if we want to initiate another direction. And we all are aware that the frog living in the pond sees the ocean as a gamble. Now, the world of commodity trading is not about gambling. And just so something else to bring into the equation is that risk is a catalyst for innovation. But risk from a level of discernment where we don't make decisions not based on good judgment. And believing me, this is a landscape that we learn every single day. We are a work in process, especially in the way of how the world is currently evolving and what's happening in our world. And also where to put our attention. We know that energy flows where attention goes. So important in our digital world of social media and hybrid working. And what we put our attention to. So it helps us with energy management too. So thank you for being with me here. I loved that world way back then. I'm curious what it will be like today. But yet I've discovered so much about trusting our gut instincts and gut feelings and being on a heightened intuition all the time, to be alert and aware and to stay fully present and centered, especially when there's lots of flux and chaos going on around us. Now, next week, I'll be sharing 5 things I learned from being a professional gypsy and nomad and traveling about our adaptive intelligence. So have a wonderful week. Take time to tap into your insight trading and cultivating most beautiful relationships. And when you make a decision to work together or to collaborate or co-create with others, or even when you are taking on a new job, to use resonance as the parameter of whether that's good judgment or not. And using your whole body intelligence, not only intellect, to make decisions. Have a wonderful week. Goodbye.